Yeah, it's you get major momentum going into the rest of the group stage. You or if you lose, you don't feel that bad about your record, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, well, we lost we lost our first game, which was, as a team, we had stand-ins and stuff, and now the second game was up against Secret. We'll figure things out. And Secret, well, they certainly put on some really good goddamn Dota. So that is also an opportunity to be able to learn a bit. And we'll see how much Gambit learns against this Broodmother pickup, which is more potent than it used to be in this matchup, because the heavy magic resistance that the Spiders have, the 40% magic resistance that they have, mixed with the Wild Axes now being magic damage instead of physical, they don't have a ton of options at being able to deal with being Spider swarmed early on.
Yeah, I was going to ask, too, if you just take the team names off of it, which draft did you like more? Do you like more of the lane-dominant Secret, or maybe more of the we're going to roam around the map on Gambit?
It's definitely not the... I don't think it's a Broodmother game that is completely one-sided. Oh god, they picked Broodmother, we instantly lost,
yeah.
Right? I don't think it's quite that, but I think it is going to be a very strong Broodmother game, because I know the SF matchup can be kind of hard, because you don't have a way to clear through the Spiderlings unless you double raise at level 4. But the build-up into that time... Broodmother can really own the matchup. And then, Beastmaster, we already talked about that, right? That was a matchup that used to be good because he did physical damage, but now his axes are magic damage. So this is going to be really tough for him.
Yeah, it is. I remember it was at the last ESL, we got an interview, and it's like, did you know the axes were magical damage? He's like, no. I assume they know now, hopefully, but almost see the first blood there as Vampire.
That's a classic Fairy Fire bait where you're like, all right, I got the kill, turn around. Fortunately, Puppy with his Boots first build on Bane is very fast. This hero is so tough to bring down in the laning phase now that 5 positions are allowed to just go Boots first if it's really good for them. And Bane is obviously one of the best, because who really trades well with a Bane?
And we talked about Puppy. More people are picking Bane, but it seems like Secret, they've just been going into this. We do want to dominate lanes, and we do want to win the mid game. They don't always have the overall. They almost never have the overall best late game, actually. And so when you see the Medusa, and they will just continue to try to win this laning phase. They're already up 1,000 gold, and it does mean there's a Shadow Fiend in the side lane. So obviously you're getting less levels, but you should get more farm. And that trade, is that good for SF? You want your levels.
You definitely want your levels, because getting your levels allows you to be able to max out your raise, which then in turn allows you to farm jungle faster. And that's typically where SF's that's where you're really good in the mid lane matchup, is you don't lose many 1v1s because you're able to default to the jungle so often. You're like a less exposed Templar assassin in that regard, right? TA has the same fallback mechanism, so you can deal with some matchups that are a little bit harder.
Let's see, some harass in the top lane. Middle, 17-0 versus 14-4. So Blizzy is doing a pretty good job against Brood. Obviously, some of those could be the Spiderites.
This isn't going to be the first time that we've ever seen SF in a side lane, but Yapzor looks like he's going to go down as they got caught from the enchant, just a little bit out of position.
And he was going for the courier kill, too. You go for the courier kill, you don't get it, you're probably going to die. Triple raise still, as we said, as long as you're level 3, you have an insane amount of burst damage if they try to run. And Puppy, he has found Vampire again behind the tier 1. Oh my goodness.
Almost
Dream
killed him too.
Yeah.
Same goes with Dream. They are being just abused in this matchup.
This is rough.
Yeah, I think that Secret are really happy with the matchups that they got, right? Because the Broodmother isn't going to really be slowed down whatsoever by the Beastmaster. They just as easily could have had Necrophos in that matchup as well. That's another matchup that goes really, really good for you. And Monkey King can win it. So there was pretty much no winning situation for him.
And as well, Enchantress top. Just getting right-clicked out of the lane by Zai.
And specifically, you want the melee versus melee matchup for the Monkey King, especially, right? So he gets the Ember Spirit, which we've seen that matchup plenty of times in the mid lane.
Yeah.
It always goes Monkey King favored. Now in the side lane, I imagine it's going to be much of the same especially since you have a superior laning phase support.
Way better support.
Yeah, you've got Bane with Boots versus Dark Willow. We're seeing how this battle goes. It's not great for the Dark Willow.
Really, no, they're going to look for the Bane, but he just doesn't care. Look at it. He is just trading hits with him. They're looking for the Dark Willow. They just bring him down instantly, and Dude, the supports on the side of Gambit. A level 1 Dark Willow and a Enchantress who just hit level 2 and ran back to base. This is looking rough for the supports especially.
And the only lane that you can say is going to be okay is the Necrophos versus SF matchup. But that is still good for Secret because they don't have Ember Spirit versus that.
Ooh, Blizzy. Will he go down? Yep, just right-clicked. Yapsor with the rotation on through. That'll be a quick one. Does mean Zai is alone like you talked about. GPK gonna harass him out of the lane knowing the Rubik's not here.
The upside for Gambit, though, is like the laning phase is going to be rough for them. But if they can get to a decent position in the mid game, I think they've got some smaller answers to the Broodmother. I think one of the most potent ones is the fact that you've got a long-range point-and-click stun that goes through BKB. That is really helpful. That's the good part about the Beastmaster. Other than that, like they've got some clear for the spiders if you can get the Ember Spirit to have higher levels of Sleight of Fist plus some damage behind it. Some physical damage, that is.
How? After months and years, I know Peter's here. I'm going to ask him. These guys, the courier, man, I know everyone gets upset about it. Me even more so, like, what do you do? That was behind the tier 1. It flew over the tier 1 tower. All right, we're good. But yeah, courier usage, still a little bit suspect here and there. So when do you look for rotation? Because Gambit already knows they're probably far behind. And they know, I mean, they have the Ember and the Beastmaster, right? So do you just try to get level 6 on those two and just start moving around? Is that really the play?
Maybe. I think being able to, like, Zai's the easy pickoff initially. Like, you just have any sort of stun set up into a double or triple raise, and that's going to get that kill. At some point in time, you have to be able to bring some heroes and slow down this Broodmother.
Yeah. Because the tower's gone.
It's just such a risky maneuver, though, right? Because even like say you don't lose any heroes, but you don't get the Broodmother kill. It's like a lot of resources that you try and bring to get an important kill, and you just very often won't be able to get it because he's so mobile.
That's the problem, as you said. If you do rotate middle, you don't get the kill. The two side lanes are farming, and that's the secret. They'll just take every single little advantage and push it.
And Secret is particularly good with Monkey King. I feel like they are the team that is most successful with this hero. Once they get just 1 or 2 items, it feels like this Monkey King becomes unstoppable.
Look at this, even right now, 0 items, and he's diving him under the tower. He does get bullet. Needs to be careful. Blizzy has the roar. Throws it out. Do they have the damage? It's only a level 4 Ember, but it looks like they should. 2 more right clicks. Nope, pops the wand. And he's out of there. As you said, I mean, you talked about the Brood, but they try to rotate bottom first roar. They get nothing. Dream just gets run out of lane, but top, Zai, he's going to get raised. Is there another? There is. GPK gets in. This is the lane, as you said, that's going well for them. And this Shadow Fiend, he's doing good. Top of the CS, second in net worth right now, only behind the Brood.
So at some point in time, they're going to have to play around their SF, but for now, it's going to be, I think the Ember Spirit and Beastmaster are a pretty decent kill combo. They bring the Dark Willow. I think them as a trio just kind of have to move back and forth between bottom lane and trying to get the occasional kill on Nisha, and then pressuring Matamba Man when they can. I'm not sure if they're ever going to be able to get a kill the way that he's racking up the net worth currently. Feels like that's going to be more of a mid-game solution, where thanks to like Hawk, you can get vision of the Broodmother when he's farming up like high ground areas and jungles, and you smoke towards him, and thanks to the Beastmaster stun, you could just lead off that initiation and then like 1-2 raise him or something.
We'll see, because GPK is going to go into the jungle. He's going for drums, so it looks like they do. They know this middle game, this early, maybe not even middle game, the early to middle game, they have to be active, and they can't just be picked off over and over. Blizzy, Invis, upset. All his neutrals are being taken as well by this Brood.
And that Invis rune isn't even going to be put to good use because he dropped a sentry, and I think they might have spotted him.
Oof. Dude, Dream is almost level 5. This the side lane just went terribly. Bottom lane, there it is. Left, throws him down. There's going to be a roar. We do have the Shadow Fiend. This should be a kill on the Brood. He doesn't dodge with the Nightmare. A nice cancel by GPK. Puppey almost saving his teammate, but there it is. The rotation you wanted. They get the kill, and they're still saving top tower with Enchantress, so
I think there's a lot of incentive for you to move your course around the map, right? Because your static laning phase is a loss. You're losing 2 out of 3 of your lanes really hard. And then individually, these heroes are really good at like individual pickoffs, right? Monkey King in a one-on-one can always beat anybody and chase them out underneath tower. And same goes for a Diffusal Broodmother, right? If you ever go by yourself, you're going to get picked off.
And Zai, one more raise available in the Necro. He has mana for 2 now. Looks like Zai should just get run down here. He's trying to juke, but no, will go down. Tower eventually gets the kill. So GPK, yep, it sounds like there's going to be a heavy load on his shoulders. He is going to have to do some big-time carrying. And he has.
This is definitely going better than I expected almost for Gambit.
Yes.
Like, they have gotten some kills. Sadly, though, when it comes to kills and stuff, it's always a bit deceptive with Secret. Just because it feels like they're always getting much more out of the map. And we saw, like, 3 cores in the mid lane. Well, that just turns into a whole lot of farming for everyone else on the side of Secret. They take advantage of the space given to them really well.
Oof. Will be the bounty runes of spawning. Looks to be a 2-for-2 exchange. Nothing crazy. And now the Brood, he's just going to take over this dire side of the map in their triangle and just slowly pressure that tier 2.
Yeah, that sucks because they don't feel like they can take over the enemy safe lane and push into Radiant jungle, so instead they're playing more around top lane. But
you don't see
even if you could like get kills or something and like take that offlane tower, it doesn't turn into that much map control. Like taking that tier 1 tower doesn't gift you the triangle all of a sudden. That's still a very hard place to hold.
Well, Matoma, man. You just, I mean, as a broodmother, right, the lane you start in, you stay there, right, until you get your ags. Isn't that normally how it works, at least?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, you just don't have the webs to move further out, right?
Yeah, the really important part for broodmother is just to be able to take that mid tower and then claim more and more jungle areas.
Expand,
and
yeah.
it's simultaneously, like, you're getting yourself more farm, but you're also actively taking farm away from the enemy, right? Broodmother's one of those heroes that can, like, independently go into the enemy triangle and take over that area because he has such potent single like ganking power, right? Once he has that diffuser blade. And you can't just like sit a bunch of heroes in the triangle at the same time. So it just inevitably means that Broodmother turns into sort of like a very offensive alchemist, and that he will be ahead in net worth and should be ahead in net worth. And he's also taking a lot of map control away from you.
Yeah. And we do see Secret, they rotate up top, want to get that tier 1 puppy. He's looking. Possibly going on an Enchantress who just wants one more creep for level 6.
And I think that is particularly potent, that combination, in this meta, right? Where you don't have the comeback mechanism, right? This
really
team
don't.
is up 10k net worth. Okay, you got a kill. Good job. You got some extra gold for it. That's no longer there. It's based off of more your killing sprees, right? Well, Broodmother may not rack up those killing sprees. He may just be farming a whole bunch of neutrals and be 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 net worth ahead of your other cores, and killing him won't mean that much.
Oh, man. The Enchantress is run down behind the tier 2 by Brood, and then Puppy just shows up with his Faded Brooch. They got some good tier 1 items on both teams. The supports for Secret and then the cores for Dire. Like getting a Faded Brooch as well as a Keen Optic when you have a Bane and a Rubik.
Yeah. I feel like Gambit is doing a good job of not giving away too many hero kills. I really like the group up in the early smokes they're forcing like themselves to utilize, because this is just the worst part of the game for them. They kind of have to group up and go for these pickoffs. They're conceding a lot of map control, but I think purely off of draft, they don't have a better option.
Yep. And you see the Radiant scanned where Blizzy was, but he will run away, trying to, as you said, get as much farm. And he will have his Helm of the Dominator, so here you might be seeing some grouping up. They might be able to take a little bit of map control back, because honestly, bottom lane, GPK, he's having a great time. He's just free farming the bottom lane. It's the only place they can farm, and he's probably the only one having a good time, but hey, if it's one person, the Shadow Fiend's a good candidate.
Yeah, you pretty much take the net worth of the Beastmaster and Ember Spirit, you combine it, there's GPK's net worth.
Oh, they found him, though, the lift. It is short, level 1. There's going to be a sleep from Puppy. And instead, they're just going to turn it around. Nice wake up with the boar from Blizzy.
So he's going drums into SNY, like very much an early game fighting build, which I think he feels like he has to go, because they've got somewhat of a greedy core lineup, right? They need all 3 of their cores to be able to find farm, but 2 of them are just going to be starved out, and everything's being gifted to GPK. So he says, all right, you guys are making space for me. I'm getting this farm. Like, I'm going to build items that allow me to be able to in turn create space for you. Maybe we can win some early team fights if I build just like drums, SNY, like very stat efficient early game items.
See, because middle lane is getting pushed in by Matoma Man. All of Dire pretty much bottom with some scattered Radiant heroes here, just making sure they don't lose that tier 2 tower. And, well, Monkey King, he's the one. He's the Shadow Fiend on this side a little bit. He's just been farming top this whole time. He's just farming the jungle, farming the lane. It seems like we're going to be pretty stagnant here with both teams playing opposite, but maybe not, as the Broodmother is rotating down bottom a little bit. I don't think he wants to take a fight, though.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to reposition all of those webs down to bottom lane until you have an Aghanim Scepter. So I anticipate Secret to not be looking too heavily for fights right now. I think 10 minutes from now, when you start getting BKBs, then you just end the game.
Man, this looks like Puppey is definitely going to go down. That is a killing spree, and they find another one. It's Yapzor. Nice pick up by Dream, maybe, or did he get baited in? He will jump out. And there's going to be the grip. They find GPK. They need to help him out. There's going to be the fear. Zai will go down. GPK, he goes down as well. Blizzy going to try to run uphill, but they're just fighting into the Monkey King ulti. And now Enchantress, you're dead to the tower. A TP out from the Dark Willow makes it. Dream, he should make it out. No fire remnants remaining, but he might be able to get those bounty runes. Matumbaman says, nope, I'm going to at least get one of them.
Good use of buybacks there from Secret, but that was so close. GPK, if he'd managed to blow up Zai's Necrophos before the Reaper Scythe comes in, right, then there isn't that big burst of damage. He definitely gets off Requiem of Souls, and that fight is entirely different.
Oh my goodness. Dream should go down here to Matumbaman. Made a nice little play, maybe not. Vampire gets the roots down, and Dream will just walk out. Survive a little bit, but unfortunately the Broodmother will end up taking that tier 2 tower, and it's a 7k lead. This is just another day in the office for Secret, it feels like. As you said, 8 to 7 kill score, but it's a 7k lead.
Yep. I mean, that last team fight, it was won by Secret, and the entire time Matumbaman wasn't there. He was hitting that mid-tier 2 tower. That's why it was so low. So it goes to show, thanks in part to good use of buyback and a nice Fiend's Grip, they're still able to fight without him, and it's going to become that much worse. It seems like Matumbaman might actually just rush straight into the BKB rather than going for the Ags.
And just stay middle and just push the base early, take Roche kind of thing?
That's what it kind of feels like to me, is like, we're going to solidify, we can just end the game, or at least take down mid lane.
Jeez Louise, Matumbaman, even with that untouchable, just hits her twice, and she pretty much melts under there. Zai hiding top. Looks like he's going for a mech after that hood, doesn't want the full pipe.
They're going to take towers so quickly, too, when they do finally get there, because we've got a second item, Desolator, for Nisha.
They should get Zai here as well, though. They did scan it out. It was red. Where's the Hawk? Throws the axes, and yep, Zai, he will be found. They might not even have to use the Roar. Will they give the kill to GPK? He's coming to take it either way. Misses the second raise, but gets the right click.
You know what's funny is, like,
but their base is
I think so many players would just be like, God, I feel miserable playing this Necrophos. I'm dying all the time. Everyone else on my team is having fun, but Zai's such a cool customer, you know? I imagine him just kind of like laughing it off. You're like, whatever, kill me again.
Yep, as the Matumbaman almost takes 50% of the tier 3 tower. Like, as you said, you're getting that kill, but then you're giving away map control. That's pretty much been, I want to say, the full first 17 minutes. Like, there have been nice kills by Gambit, but then you're giving up the rest of the map to get those kills.
Yeah, and it's... like, normally these trade-offs, you can criticize them and say, okay, like, they're overcommitting here, but I think fundamentally just losing your lanes this hard and then the draft just means that you have to take bad trade-offs. Hopefully they can get a good team fight going soon.
They're looking for the tier 1 top. They want to get a kill into the tier 1 towers. They're smoked up. But
okay, he went Manta on GPK, by the way. I was wondering why he had queued up SNY. I was like, is the Sanj really that useful in this game?
Ooh, they're going to try to jump to the backlines. Puppey will stay alive. He has a brain set, but he is rooted down. They're looking for the kill. Yapzor, there's going to be a sleep. Ember will make it out. There's an ulti from GBK, fearing away about 3 of them. Vampire wants to fear him again. No one's gone down quite yet. Ember's still alive, and yes, saves them from the Brood and the Monkey King. Vampire's like, I got to get out of here. Will TP out, and, well, they make it out alive. Maybe. Nisha, as you said, maybe one of the best Monkey players. He is just chasing him down. Does jump to the low ground. And oh my goodness. They have it. Is he going to get the kill? He does. Oh my goodness. The Sentry Ward was just wearing out, and they'll get the kill. Nisha, is he dead? Yes, the Impetus will do enough. It's a lift up though. Matumbaman, he's going to right click down Blizzy. Who's next? Is it Yol or is it GBK? GBK teleports. The roots eaten. Do we have any? Yep, there's the sleep. Puppey always in the right position, and that's a double. Looked like it was a clean escape, and then guess what? Monkey King, that long-range catch we talk about.
All right, we're going to switch things up one more time. We've got Medallion and now Aghanim Scepter for Matumbaman. So he's deciding, yeah, they're playing on the side lanes a lot. I really need those extra webs. He's feeling that pain.
Oh, and there's
GPK.
the grip. They found him, and all he has is that Alpha Wolf, no stomp creep. YapzOr does go down, but here comes the Reaper's Scythe, and see you later. 60 seconds you're down for. YapzOr will end up dying on the backside, and Dream, he looks for more. But they blew everything, it feels like.
Yeah, I think with the extra death timer on SF, you have a free Roshan on your hands. You just picked up the Aghanim Scepter for Matumbaman. You still have the Desolator for Nisha. I think you can do Rosh pretty much at any point now. Because you do it so quickly, thanks to the double minus armor from Deso and then Medallion.
I'm curious, have you felt, you know when that patch happened, that all talents are reduced by 20%? Have you really felt them on a lot of heroes?
Yeah, I can't think of anybody specific, but I do remember like there were some heroes that I was like, man, this feels a lot worse than he used to be.
Yeah.
I think Void Spirit was a good example where I almost feel like the mana regen is more value now. Just because how like the damage got nerfed enough. Maybe that's just weird to say since they both got nerfed 20%, but it felt like the mana regen was more value now.
Yeah, because I was looking and I was actually watching like Nisha's player perspective, and you could tell with the tree dance cast range, he was trying to cast further than he was, and like a talent like that, where like you're just used to know, like you knew which trees could jump to each trees. It was just weird for that one because he was clicking and then he just clicked off the tree instead because of it, and I was just like, oh, he definitely the numbers there definitely didn't add up for him. And as you said, free Rosh, even with the SF, they waited till SF was alive for the dominance effect. They do run out. They aren't able to take it. They're nervous.
Okay.
And there is a nice Dire Ward. It's right outside the Rosh pit uncountered, so they know. They know they backed out as well.
I do think there's not a huge rush for Secret, just because there's still that BKB timing, right? Like, they've been winning the game without their BKBs, and I think once they do have those, there's nothing that Gambit can really do in return. Right? Because if Monkey King has a BKB and Broodmother has a BKB,
what do you do?
You only got one roar. Everything else that's being thrown around by Secret is just going to be a bunch of magic damage that is ignored.
Oh, man. Just an absolute beatdown as Bane, level 12, and they're going right back into Rosh. The rest of Dire, they're here, and it is a buyback from the Enchantress, so once more, they just back out and try to bait all of Dire that way while Matumbaman just takes over the middle.
Yeah, that is something that I feel like teams are utilizing a lot more is the effect of Roshan. Like, naturally, Roshan is a way to either cement your lead or it's an opportunity for a comeback for the enemy team. So everyone who's behind feels like Rosh is like, guys, we got to interrupt Roshan. Maybe this could be good for us.
We get a steal, maybe.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot more teams are using that as you kind of pointed out, like a bait. Right? And that, like, hey, we can force them to move to this side of the map, and if we're stronger than them, we just take the team fight. We don't try and do Roshan, or it's a good way to force a buyback out of a team or something like that.
And okay, Puppey might be in a little bit of trouble here. Zai's here. It's 2 versus 2. Puppey will take some damage. He gets healed up, but there's the ultimate thrown out. He does get the sleep, dodges a little bit of damage, pops his swan. Not yet, Zai. He's just here, and they're going to try to run, but Blizzy, you're just dead, man. Oh, my goodness, you are super dead as the rest of Secret rotates in. Give me that Helm of the Dom creep as well. 200 gold for Puppey. And he's going to almost have a Spirit Vessel on this 5-position Bane.
Yeah, and then you look on the other side, and it's like, oh, Dream finally got his Maelstrom. Yeah.
Oh, it's
like, okay.
That bottom lane, as you talked about the lanes, that bottom lane, I believe the Monkey King was level 7 when the Ember was 4.
Yeah.
Like, we know it has gone back a little bit to the off lane's just hard. And okay, buyback from Blizzy. They want to take it again, but Secret, they're running. Oh, Zai gets low. Essence Ring Death Pulse.
And again, you forced a buyback out, reset. You can go back in, but I feel like you should let Zai heal up a bit first.
Oh, okay. They're in the pit. Puppey's here. He's waiting on the outside. There's going to be a nice double root on the ground, but asleep onto the Shadow Fiend, so he can't even start stacking. They will wake him up. Puppey gets his grip off. They get the Monkey King ult because he will finally go down, but GPK, he's already dead. That's your big core in Matumbaman. He's trying to run away, but he might be in trouble. He's stuck on the hill. They can't get to him, and now he's up there. He's going to try to run. 2 more impetus might be enough. No, they just bring down the Enchantress and Matumbaman. He will regen on backup. They're chasing for more Blizzy. He just bought back. You get this kill, you might be looking at a base, maybe not even Rosh.
I mean, I think that's just GG.
And that's what it felt like. Yeah.
Gambit knew that Roshan, like a really good Roshan fight, was their best way to come back into this game, right? Because if they give up Aegis and like the BKB timings from Secret, they're just going to demolish your base, and there's not much you could do about it. So they kept on buying back. I think they knew that was their best chance at a comeback.
And it's just, I actually thought they almost got Puppey down, but as we said, he almost had a Spear Vessel. Like, he has a lot of HP, and he got a grip up with 200 HP for like 3 seconds, which it just held him in place for the Monkey King ult. As we talk about Secret, good team play. Who would have guessed? Green, he's looking, trying to get some lightning procs, clear out those Spiderites. And now they just back up. They got the melee racks. They know Rosha's still up, so they can always back up to that if they want. Monkey King ult in 30. Nope, they're just running forward. GPK, he will get inhibited. Nisha jumps down, hits a nice 2-man boundless. There's the Jingu, and this should be a kill. GPK, he's running, and he will make it away for now, taking a little bit of damage as Nisha and Matumba Man, but Dire, they can't really leave their base unless you have a mobility spell, which Ember and Dark Willow, the only two who really do.
Yeah, Dream might just have to start running down side lanes.
Just suicide pushing out lanes.
Yeah, exactly. Just try and deter them away from the base. I don't know. I mean, they're back into the Roshan pit, but it feels like Gambit just can't get there fast enough.
Yeah, they definitely cannot, especially without buybacks. They can't. They do have the outpost, but they didn't want to TP there. All right, here we go. Vampire will drop the ulti.
Oh,
it does hit, but no, the Aegis was already picked by Nisha because he popped the BKB, and now there's the grip, and it's a log one. He is stuck on the Monkey King because his tree got cut down. Won't matter. TP out from Vampire. He's gone. Nisha, he wants more, though. He might find Blizzy. No. Boundless barely misses. And yeah, this is, as you said, pretty much over, unless Gambit has some crazy Shadow Fiend ulti plus Dark Will ulti. You do have a lot of team fight control. The problem is that requires Secret to play incorrectly, which they don't often do.
Yeah, you're going to have to get like some sort of surprise terrorize that catches them before they pop their BKBs and then chain some stuns off of that, or try and bait out their BKBs as best as possible. Nisha's is still on cooldown for another 20 seconds, but he's got an Aegis, so he can be very brazen and just start hitting buildings. He'll go through mid to hit top lane. I almost feel like Gambit just used this time to try and farm up to their next items, though I don't really see what those items are. GPK is looking at Satanic, but he's way
big
away.
Item. Yeah, that's a pretty costly item 26 minutes in on the losing team. We'll see if he can get it, because this melee racks is getting dropped. The Deso, as well as the Blightstone, they do stack, so a ton of minus armor. All right, they're locking him down. They've got 2 of them in base. You see Puppey and YapzOr sticking around, making sure his teammate doesn't die. Oh, nice Nightmare dodge on that Centaur Conqueror stomp. Guardian Greaves off the stun as well. And Nisha throws out his ulti, tons of armor, and they just destroy GPK. There's I was about to say, That's your big core. He farmed, he bought back, he got Reaper, he's dead for 2 minutes at 20 minutes in. The game's just over, and I'm going to be honest, Cap, I don't think anyone's surprised at the outcome of this game or how it happened.